morning, and here I am, Sheetal from Linguists Academy with the vocabulary for today. Let us see the word which I have brought for you. The word is juvenile. Please focus on the spelling as well because you need to be careful with your spellings. The word is juvenile. What does it mean? It means or refers to young people who are not yet adults. So it is that stage where you have not reached maturity. It also reflects psychological immaturity. When you say you are not mature as yet, like adults, it means that psychologically also there is still an immaturity in a juvenile state. Now, in terms of law, if you see, a child who has not completed the age of juvenile justice, that is 16 years in the case of boys and 18 years in the case of girls, according to the Act of 1960. So, juvenile is defined this way in terms of law. And in terms of biology, it means an organism which has not yet reached its adult form. So by and by, the meaning is the same with reference to law or nature. Now let us take a look at some terms and phrases associated with the word juvenile. Juvenile delinquency is the first term. Now what is this term? When a minor is involved in a misdeed, in a criminal act or an act which is wrong in terms of law, it is called as juvenile delinquency, because delinquency essentially means misdeed. Now, juvenile behavior. We have already spoken of immaturity associated with the word juvenile. So obviously juvenile behavior is behavior which is quite childlike or even childish. Juvenile court, once again associated with the legal term. Juvenile officer, again associated in the same manner. Juvenile diabetes. Now this is a medical term. When diabetes occurs in minors, in children, it is termed as juvenile diabetes. Then you have juvenile thought. This could be an expression in literary terms maybe. Juvenile thoughts are immature thoughts that come to your mind or that cross your mind. Juvenile approach as against a mature approach. Yes, I think it's quite easy to understand now. And then juvenile concepts. Concepts which probably need to be a little more mature but aren't so, can be termed as juvenile concepts. Of course, words like or phrases like juvenile thoughts, juvenile approach, juvenile concepts can be used in terms of your expression while writing. Now let's see these terms: juvenile delinquency, juvenile court, juvenile officer. I have put them together, I have framed them together because they come in close association by one or in one aspect. See this picture here. In this picture you can see a little child trying to behave like an adult and getting involved in a misdeed like pickpocketing, which is of course a criminal offense. So in this case, this child will be called as a juvenile delinquent because he has engaged himself in juvenile delinquency. Obviously, he will be presented before the juvenile court, and officers dedicated to this age group, a juvenile officer, would deal with the case. I hope it makes it very clear. Now, whether juvenile is a positive or negative word, because the examples we are giving, or the example I just showed you, is that of pickpocketing. I spoke of juvenile delinquency. Then when you use this word juvenile, is it positive or negative? Let's see. Now understand, the word young, which runs parallel to juvenile, has a positive association. Juvenile generally has a negative association, but don't take it only from the criminal aspect. Negative association in a way that it falls short of expectation. When you speak of juvenile behavior, it means that you are expected to behave maturely, but you are behaving childishly. So therefore, juvenile behavior. Juvenile thoughts, where, come on, you need to think, or mature thoughts need to be crossing your mind, and you have juvenile thoughts coming into your mind. Now there is a difference between juvenile thoughts and juvenile delinquent thoughts. Juvenile thoughts, the term is usually used incorrectly in terms of maybe referring to wrong thoughts or thoughts of crime that cross your mind. Those are juvenile delinquent thoughts, and normal regular juvenile thoughts are just immature thoughts. And thirdly, the next thing, if you see, is the term adolescent, which has a neutral association, neither positive nor negative. Now, young, juvenile, adolescent, these words run parallel. I'm not saying they're synonymous, but they run parallel to each other. Okay, and that is how they are associated. So again, I bring to you the difference between juvenile thoughts and juvenile delinquent thoughts. They are different. Keep that in mind. Now let us see, like always, the use of this word in sentences. The epidemic in the country saw a rise in juvenile mortality. That means in the dying of young children. The epidemic in the country saw a rise in juvenile mortality. Now see the next sentence. In my opinion, the author's style of writing was quite juvenile. That means not matured enough. He has been suffering from juvenile diabetes since the age of 6. I think this is quite self-explanatory, isn't it? Day by day, there is a rise in cases of juvenile delinquency in urban areas. I have explained this term quite enough before this. John certainly needs to alter his juvenile approach to any problem. Isn't it? He needs to alter, he needs to change his approach and make it a little more mature, is what I want to say. So John certainly needs to alter his juvenile approach to any problem. And see the last sentence. The department decided to escort all juvenile animals in the forest and take them to a safer place. Here it means all the young animals, all the little ones. The department decided to escort all juvenile animals from the forest and take them to a safer place. Thank you and stay tuned to Fab Vocab. I'm Sheetal here from Linguists Academy and looking forward to seeing you soon with some more words. Bye-bye. Have a good day.